One. I'm Kalpana Chaudhary, founder of Social Tables, Managing Trustee, Jan Seva Foundation, Being the Change, active member at Fiki Flow, CII IWN, Women Wing, TEDx speaker, and on board with various different organizations. We are, we are a personal brand strategy firm for influencers and entrepreneurs. Our services are designed to help mission-driven messenger clarify your positioning, expand your reach, and increase your revenues. Our services include consultant, branding, event host, moderating, corporate content, conference, panel discussion, fundraising, and CSR consultant. It's a great honor for me to introduce our special guest today, Mrs. Anupama Jain. We are extremely glad to have you with us to share your valuable views on the current pandemic situation and opportunities ahead for women entrepreneurs. Anupama ji, you can also chat with the audience meanwhile when I'm introducing you. Jain is CEO MMC Skill Foundation, training partner of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship with 29 years of experience in skill development. Chairperson CII IWN Chandigarh Tri-City Chapter. Chairperson Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Entrepreneurs IIT Mohali on board at numbers of NGOs, advisory at Fiki Flow Ludhiana chapter, India's largest women organization. Director of Educational Services at Rotary Club, Chandigarh, immediate past president at Innovin Club, Panchkula, leading international NGOs run by women. Industry experience of 29 years, affiliated under various sectors to provide various job roles, training, tailor, gems and jewelry, IT nails, IT NASCOM, automotive sector, electronic sector, beauty and wellness sector, Skill Council of India. Wow. She has trained approximately 2,000 under these various skill job fields, out of which 55% of women candidates were trained successfully. MMC Computer has set a benchmark in the field of skill development by achieving more than 75% placement record. MMC main focus is not to train the candidates, but also to provide them 100% placement support so that they can become employed and can achieve their goals. Wow. You are everywhere doing so much for women and entrepreneurs, women empowerment and youth empowerment. How did this start, Anupama ji?
Well, thanks for a wonderful intro. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be with you, Kalpana ji, on this social tables.
It's my pleasure and I'm honored to have you.
Yes, I genuinely feel that you are doing a great work by calling entrepreneurs and with their inspiring stories, because I also feel empowered listening to your session.
Thank you so much.
So where I start from, it's long back. Actually, I was born with a very humble background. My father played a crucial role in my life. He educated me about the importance of money. And I started my professional career as a lecturer at Lady Shri Ram College, New Delhi. There's some disturbance. I'm hearing some voice. I think somebody needs to mute or something.
Over here, there's nothing called mute or something. No, it's only between you and me. So I have nobody over here.
Okay, so I'm audible clearly?
I'm audible, very well. Very well. Yeah.
So I started my professional career as a lecturer at Lady Shri Ram College, New Delhi, and later on at DAV College, Ambana. And in between got married to a very influential business family. So, but I had an intense desire to do something of my own and utilize my education. So in early 90s, when information technology started to take off, I sensed the need to create IT professionals in the coming years. So with the motivation and efforts of my husband, I seized this opportunity and started my entrepreneurship journey by setting up an IT education and skill development company, MMC Computers, way back in 1991. So business was at initial stage, but suddenly I realized that all big brands like Tata, Tulek, Aptech, NIIT, Brilliant Computers, IBM, they have entered my market and become my competitors.
Wow.
So, leading to mushrooming growth of IT institutes. So, but simultaneously, they were charging hefty amount of fees.
Okay.
And with no recognized certificates because they were all private companies. So I decided to bring value additions to my activities. So same year I applied for government affiliations at state and national. So it was long procedure to adhere all the rules. But by 1994, I became the first and only institute to offer government recognized IT training to all our admissions.
Wow.
So this was not procedure was very, very tough during those days. I remember way back that after 1 month of getting from government department, the whole bundle of application used to come back on my table, one discrepancy or other, So it was a tough procedure to follow there. Anyways, yeah. So this was a big achievement as my fees were low. I mean reasonable. So, but my certificate values were very high. So this was a big blow to my competitors. And you will not believe that gradually by 1996, I saw all of them quitting one by one.
Oh my God.
Big names, Tata, IBM, they all start their IT business, training business. And so leaving full space for my company to grow. So onward, I left no chance to adopt time to time new technology, our softwares, lab infrastructures as per IT demand. So, and success story began. So by this time, I had already become fully independent in my business. Within 4 years, I opened another branch in Chandigarh, and another 2 years, I opened two more branches. My target of students were mainly from small and middle income families, those who focused on getting jobs after our diploma. So we somehow, with God's blessings, we succeeded to get happen for these jobs. So my efforts were appreciated. I started coming in limelight to various media and publications. In 1996, the transition, I launched National Data Processing Center. Remember, we used to have voter ID cards. Earlier, there was the voter that was in registers. So then this computerization started. So I started creating voter ID cards for states of Punjab, Haryana, and Bihar. So started with 5 computers. Now my company had expanded to 100 computers under one roof. So
that's incredible with a lot of challenges.
Yeah. So, meanwhile in 2014, I was approached by National Backward Classes Finance Development Corporation. This is NBFC. This is under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. They approached me for providing IT training to economically backward section, free of cost.
Oh.
And somehow I said yes, I will do that. And you imagine we could enroll 2,000 candidates from underprivileged section and mainly girls. And no wonder the ministry then funded me the entire expenditure on this project. And then I received high recommendation from them. And then got the same call from Ministry of Minority Affairs for unlimited numbers of targets. All these programs were fully funded by government.
Wow.
And this was fulfilling my inner and outer satisfaction. Because these young boys and girls from needy poor families, they were really paying gratitudes after getting skilled and employed. because they were not A's. So these programs were free of cost for them. And no doubt we were funded by the government. So this was the turning point of my life. And I hardly realized when I found myself turning from an entrepreneur to a social entrepreneur.
Amazing journey with a lot of challenges, huh? Must say.
Yes.
So you were selected by Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, Mohali campus for the 10,000 Women Entrepreneurs Program. It's a global initiative that
Yes.
provides entrepreneurs around the world with practical business education. Tell us more about this initiative.
See what happened in 2011. Though my company's profitability had increased very considerably, but at the same time, I found it stuck at some level from past 4 years. I was seeing that I was getting affiliations from here, I was working this department, but then I was losing some other end. I was doing good at some aspect, and I was so my overall growth was getting stuck at some level. So all of a sudden, there was an advertisement in newspaper that world's leading financial institution, Goldman Sachs USA, wants to invest on entrepreneurs by skilling them in entrepreneurship at world's top B schools. And in India, it was collaborated with Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. I found myself so enthusiastic because this entire program was entirely sponsored by Goldman Sachs. It was worth 30 lakh rupees scholarship. It was not this that I couldn't afford it. It was this that is a sense of fulfillment and curiosity to learn that if I could get selected, and this process was not so easy. So anyways, after many rounds of interviews and group discussions in Delhi, Chandigarh, finally in 2012, I was selected by Hyderabad campus for their Mohali center. And this was for 10,000 women entrepreneur programs. As you also told, that this is a global initiative. And they provide women entrepreneurs around the world with practical business education, So through this, I gained practical skills in topics such as planning, negotiations, marketing, employee management. We got polished by world-renowned professors in the campus. So we applied all the skills in our system, and gradually the curve started moving.
Wow. Wow. That's so inspiring. And it's always nice when you're being motivated by all the support, funding, and that's how you grow and you move. Because that is very important. And without funding, you cannot do any activities. So, okay, you have achieved 4 times Profitability Business Award, and hence you were selected by Goldman Sachs as ambassador of 10,000 Women Entrepreneurs Program. What program was this?
Actually, the previous program I was talking, this program was actually aimed at growth of our business, bringing growth in business and marketing strategies at our businesses. So in 2019, Goldman Sachs wanted to evaluate whether we applied these skills or not, So they launched another initiative of ambassador program. So again, I was approached, I applied, and my applications were evaluated. This was again a long procedure of conference calls, one conference call, one Goldman Sachs representative sitting at USA, one at Hyderabad, third one at Mohali campus. So they grilled us, and then they found that I had 4 times increased my turnover by this time. So they nominated us, they selected us to take part in ambassador program of 10,000 women and declared us as ambassador for this program.
Wow. And as they say, without grilling, there is no foods to eat because every time, So every time, women, it has been a tough journey. So you need to prove yourself, and until you don't prove yourself, it becomes very difficult. But you have proved it by doing it 4 times profitable. That's fabulous, incredible.
Thank you.
You were also felicitated by UNESCO during Global Skill Development Meet held at UNESCO headquarters, Paris, as delegate of Ministry of Skill Department and Entrepreneurship between India and Europe. Wow, what a great honor. Tell our viewers about this achievement.
See, in May 2016, I received a call from IFI. This is a Europe India Foundation for Excellence to participate in Global Skill Development Meet. This was to be held at UNESCO headquarters Paris. So I represented India as delegate along with others from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE. And I was recognized for my services here. This was actually a platform where all the delegates skilling from Ministry of Skill from European countries and from Africa, they had gathered at UNESCO, and Indian delegates had also gone there because India wanted to become HR capital of the world, because majority of our youth segment in the population is youth, right? So we wanted to become HR capital of the world, and we know Europe, they are so good in their technologies, in R&D. So this was a platform where of us, the Europeans and Indians, they both wanted to have advantage of each other. So we Indians adopted their technologies, and Europeans, they wanted to take our skilled manpower. So this was all that, many collaborations, they took place there. And so this was a very big thing. And after coming back from UNESCO, I started getting invitations from Doordarshan TV channels and IFM radio channels for delivering talks on Skill India to spread awareness. Because this was the time, Skilling India was at peak. This was the major thrust area of government policy.
Yeah, it was that moment of a time where skill development, Skill India was something, new to all of us.
Yes. And it was major thrust area. It was because our main population was youth. आज भी जब COVID चल रहा है, so everybody says कि why India is not so much affected, because India's population is majorly comprising of youth. So youth have good immunity. Right.
Absolutely.
So in 2000, So what happened that even after that in 2017, when I had done this program at ISD, I was nominated president of this alumni association of ISD Goldman Sachs 10,000 women. So to empower women, I conducted a workshop on Skill India at ISD campus. This was to connect more women, to empower them and to make them financially independent, because I wanted to spread awareness. Everybody should avail this scheme, so they should enter into Skill India, because so many women, they wanted to do work and they wanted to initiate all this. So this was largely noticed by media and benefited many of them. And by this time, as my social entrepreneurship journey had already started, so I joined FICCI Flow, India's largest women organization. I contributed in their joy of giving by skilling young girls in stitching and skilling courses so that they could become independent. So an year after, I was honored to be appointed on Board of Advisory for Skill Mission. And then I was also approached by Rotary Club. They invited me that you should join us as our chairperson on skill development, because all these NGOs, they focus on uplifting poor and needy people. So
very important
with God's blessings, with God's blessings, my area of work was also, it was collaborating with all this, So
Absolutely.
then, so later on in 2018, I was appointed as president of Inner Wheel Club. This is again an international NGO, largest organization run by women all over the world.
Wow.
So there I could do exemplary work on humanitarian services, women empowerment, adult literacy, women health, medical camps, spinal surgeries, club literacy projects, so much. So I kept doing, एक जैसे नशा आ गया था, addiction हो गई थी. I renovated, एक स्कूल में गए, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में, children were sitting, टाट पे बैठे हुए हैं, they were in deplorable condition, पूरा स्कूल ही renovate करवा दिया. ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, टॉयलेट, लाइब्रेरी बना दी, प्ले इक्विपमेंट्स लगा दिए. सो कंप्लीट बिल्डिंग ही उनकी रेनोवेट. सो देन एक हमारा सीविंग सेंटर चल रहा था इन रूरल एरिया. सो देयर आई फाउंड कि 10 ईयर से वहां इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं थी. सो because why? Because that land was not registered on anybody's name. So I made efforts. I got established electricity connection there. फिर एक कम्युनिटी किचन थी, रेनोवेटेड, स्लम चिल्ड्रन आ रहे थे, बट देयर वाज नो them, they were sitting there, rainwater was going on their head, put shelter, did all these, so on and so forth. So karte karte, so I got this platinum president award for my club. And yeah, so then excellent club in entire zone for humanitarian services. फिर वो I received lifetime achievement award in Chandigarh. Then best community champion by Fiki Flow. Then Nari Shakti ko Pranam award, being most influential 51 women in Chandigarh.
Yes,
So,
yes,
so
yes.
yeah, this was a Bridge Bhumi Foundation, which is run by Hema Malini ji.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I kept doing this, entered into this social entrepreneurship. और बिलीव मी, मतलब तुम जितना भी कमा लो, लेकिन जब आप इस फील्ड में आ जाते हो, उसकी जो फुलफिलमेंट है, उसकी जो अचीवमेंट है, उसका नशा ही कुछ और है.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Being associated with so many boards of NGOs, the kind of work what we do interact with the locals and the kind of fulfillment what we get, we wouldn't get otherwise. Yes. And you have done an amazing noble cause. You are there everywhere. You're working with ministry, FICCI, various organization, and the incredible work is so inspiring. Thank you so much for being so fabulous and doing and giving your selfless service to so many of our family members. I would rather say that. So we need to, it's so, even today COVID-19 have taught us it is very important for us to coexist. So the way you said about, yes, how India and at UNESCO, European countries and India collaborated. So it is all about collaboration. Wonderful, Anupama ji. You truly inspire me now. Yeah. So you have also been affiliated with Ministry of different states. It's remarkable. So, tell us about all your journey with government of states and central government.
See, I tell you, because when we came into the skilling activities, and when we started skilling thousands in numbers, so it was not possible that everybody we should keep offering IT, because my main focus thrust area was IT. So it was not like we couldn't impose on them कि आप IT ही करो, आप computer operator ही बनो, या आप programmer ही बनो. So then we started holding counseling camps. We started asking children कि what is your interest? Without interest, they couldn't come to attend classes. And when anything is given free of cost, it doesn't have any value also. Yeah. So then we had these camps wherein the students were asked, what is your actual interest? So we found there is diversity of interest. Somebody has less means, so they just want to, poor girls, they want to learn stitching. But some girls, they are very promising. They want to do something above that. They want to do something in electronic sector, something in retail sector. Because by that time, lot many retail companies had come up, with this Amazon and all this, so many, there was such a big demand for retail sector. So what I got is that these under Skill India, there were around 256 skill courses. And there were so many sector skill councils. So my business, I come from my business family. They are jewelers. So first thing what I did that I approached Gem and Jewelry Council of India, and then there I got my company approved, and we launched a course, Diamond Graders, because there was a huge demand of diamond grading in the industry, diamond graders, and they were not finding the skilled manpower. So similarly, we approached retail sector skill council. Similarly, we approached electronic sector skill, automotive sector skill, apparel sector skill. So first of all, because my target from the beginning was only that whatever course I have to give to the people, it should be government recognized, government certified. So we kept approaching and we kept adding skill courses, and we kept interviewing the students first. What you want exactly? What is your aim at? So accordingly, we kept distributing them the skill courses, and this is how we got affiliated with sector skill councils, number of sector skill councils.
You have not left any skill council, so you're there everywhere again.
No, only
So
seven skill
I
councils. Only
sorry,
7 skill councils.
so
Seven
seven,
skill councils.
7 is a huge number. I mean, people can't reach up to 1.
Yeah,
It
no,
takes,
it's okay.
it really takes months and years to understand the whole thing and go about. Wow. So your association with National Skill Development Corporation under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So what kind of association you had with them?
See, actually, what happened in 2013, Union Minister P. Chidambaram announced allocation 1,000 crores in National Skill Certification Scheme. Because my main focus was always from the beginning was to go for government certification. So we adopted this and started skilling youth in different areas for creating employability. Because without skilled certificate, employment is not possible. Even the people coming from engineering colleges, they were dump in knowledge, they used to,
Absolutely.
yeah, even in my IT center, there are so many candidates. If we advertise once, we will find 20 candidates sitting at the lobby in the reception with their applications, having
Oh.
BTech degrees for becoming a faculty in my institute. But we are not able to recruit them because they don't have any practical knowledge. So seeing all this, I adopted all these policies and started skilling youth. And later on in 2015, when this Modi ji government came and the Skill India campaign was launched by Modi ji to train over 40 crore people in India by 2022. So this was a target fixed.
Huge number.
So yeah, so again, Amin se jud gaye and our company became a star performer as direct training partner under these initiatives.
Wow.
And we trained, abhi tak we have trained 12,000 candidates under this initiative. And my work continued side by side. My company became with a training partner with state skill development missions under NSTC. And this is how from 4 centers, by this time I have expanded to 24 centers in all different states. So
Wow.
we are doing this skilling activities.
Wow. 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 So we welcome you in Maharashtra.
Yeah. I would love to.
Yeah. Of course, I'm sure. I mean, we would love to get, these kind of activities happening in Maharashtra as well. So future of women entrepreneurs and youth startup during and after lockdown. So what do you think about it?
See, women entrepreneurs and youth, what I feel, again, because I'm from skilling background, so I would suggest that sit properly, just think it over about your future and upgrade your skills. Because this is the right time. You need to evaluate what your interest is in and what skills you can take. Because there is a lot of time with you. And so many online courses are available. Even Harvard is giving free courses this time.
Yes,
So-
yeah.
Right? So,
Harvard, we have Tata, United Nations. For those viewers who don't know about it, so Harvard is giving, United Nations is giving, Microsoft is giving, Tata, TCS is giving. So they are wonderful courses which you can do it for free.
for
Absolutely.
free, and they are certified courses
And they
which
are
you can
certified.
utilize later. So I will simply say that women entrepreneur, youth, they all should sow the seeds right now to reap them in future. And I would also tell them that minimize your expenditures because economy is very slow. And don't go for loan. This is not the time for women entrepreneur to take loans. Because if they take loan and they are not able to repay it, this will simply stress their mind. And then productivity will reduce. So it will unnecessarily put pressure on their mind. So they should able to manage their existing resources skillfully to make the best of time now to invest in future.
Very well said. Very well said. So how does one keep positive approach towards this global pandemic?
Yes, we need to remain positive. See Kalpana ji, don't you find that world has become smaller? So now we are interacting with you. You are sitting at Mumbai. I am sitting in Chandigarh. So we have come so closer to each other. So we should take advantage of this situation, right? So I mean, sitting at one place, you can see the entire world. So utilize your time in learning new things, develop relationship with your employees, because when situation improves, they will only prove to be your backbone in your business, right? So, and government has given lot many schemes for startups, so that can be adopted with guidance and upgrading your skills. So right now, try to change mode of your business. Be online. Online, you can get customers from anywhere in the world. So learn new things and remain positive.
All right. So, congratulations on being appointed as CII-IWN Chandigarh chairperson. What activities are you involved in, and what are the initiatives taken by you to combat against COVID-19 as CII?
See, Kalpana ji, IWN, we are actually, our main focus is to take care, learning, development, healthcare, policy, advocacy. So we are trying to make people, especially women section, aware of all these policies, respectively. So because of these restrictions in pandemic, we are arranging conference calls, we are arranging live sessions. My priority is training the women on wealth management, because I feel that even a household lady, she needs to learn how to manage her funds, how to protect her, emergency funds, how to keep her emergency funds, how to protect her liquidity, all this. So I have held at least 12 sessions on money and wealth management.
Wow.
And yes. And then making people aware during COVID, we have started a Mission Sakha. Mission Sakha is a Suraksha Kavach Abhiyan. There we are, we are providing raw material to weaker section women. We are making masks at home. These masks are 100% cotton, homemade, washable. And we are distributing to all these class 4 employees or rural area people, underprivileged people, so that they get, aware of using this as well. They could take this. So many things we are actually informing corporates how the big corporates are introducing secure safety systems in companies. Same we should also follow, because that.
So are corporate also helping in CSR funding during this COVID-19?
Yes. This is CSR funding is also being done.
Okay. Wonderful. Excellent. So let's go with a quick rapid fire question after this such an inspiring session, and then we will also take questions from our audience if they want to interact with you. So they can go ahead and ask me the question. So your favorite. So before I start this rapid fire, if we have a question, we will also take the questions from here. Your favorite hobby?
Well, my favorite hobby is gardening. I love gardening.
Okay, wonderful. Place where you love being the most?
Garden, my garden. I have made so many places in my garden to sit and relax. Greenhouse, glass house. I love to see birds making nests, during this
wonderful
lockdown.
Is that? I will definitely do a virtual tour with you.
Yes. Because even, you realize the noise of voice, sounds of birds, it is different in the morning and different in the evening. So I love to be at all the time in my garden.
Nature lover. Yeah. So your favorite music?
My favorite music?
Song, music, yeah, anything what you like.
Well, music.
Hindi, English.
Music, which makes me stress free,
Okay.
Any kind of music, not specifically. I won't say classic. I won't say, but yes, I enjoy old songs by Lata ji. Yeah, I enjoy old songs.
Your creative inspiration? Who is your creative inspiration?
Well, I'm not an artist. Maybe I could have become an artist, though, because I'm a Taurian, so generally people say that Taurians are good artistic skills. But if you say creativity skills, I will say because I'm very fond of displaying my art while, in cooking, in presenting my dishes, on tables. So whatever I little bit cook, I try my hand. I don't know.
Okay.
My children say that it's like, Mama, you have done wonders. So I like
So,
that. So my
and
creativity goes in my creativity goes in my food.
food also. Wow, wonderful. So your best quick fix remedy.
Quick fix remedy. Well, again, I will say I have a husband who is an engineer, not by profession, but by virtue, So, yeah, he can fix and quick fix everything for me. Like he is a plumber for me, electrician for me, metallic
Oh, that's
engineer,
wonderful.
electronic, and everything. So I don't have any need to, get into quick fix. But still,
So,
yes, I will say one thing, you talk about situations. See, when I think about situation, quick fix remedy for situation, I always tell even my staff in my workplace that face the situation. This is a quick fix remedy for you. Face the situation and the things will be in a right mode.
automatically. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So for me,
So,
quick fix remedy is face the situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. And it's very important to face the situation because there's no alternative to it.
Yes.
Well, face it gracefully and move ahead.
Yes.
Your strongest dislike about a people, about any person.
No, not exactly about person, but I would say that I don't like people showing off unnecessarily.
Yeah, just be
If there is
humble.
a need, show off, but unnecessarily there is.
I remember Anupama ji, I met you on Facebook and we connected being on the same CII platform. So hence we had this curiosity to connect with each other. And ever since I have, even with a small message and you were there, even with just a call you were there. And today you are here. I mean, you are truly an inspiration. I really admire you a lot. And thank you so much for being so humble and such a wonderful, beautiful soul in and out. I truly, truly mean it from bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, going further, your biggest addiction.
My addiction, my morning cup of tea.
Oh.
I can't stay without morning cup of tea.
Wow. Okay. So, a message for a social tables. What would you want to say?
See, I will say we all are dynamic women, and every woman has a hidden potential inside. Just explore it with confidence. Be your own mentor because it's your life and you needs to be empowered. This is a small message.
Wonderful,
that I
wonderful,
think.
wonderful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So before we conclude, what word of wisdom would you like to give to our viewers? What word of wisdom or advice you would like to give to our viewers?
See, this pandemic is going on and we all should adopt safety measures because until and unless a vaccine is introduced, it's better to be at home. It's not safe to go out. But I will also give this message that improve the weaker section and their families who are recently affected by COVID. Make them stand on their feet. Because if everyone should adopt at least one family, either give them job, medical aid, food, shelter, whatever one can give as per their own resources. So I think our country can be on track.
Such a beautiful thought to end with such a beautiful session. How inspiring is this? Vote of thanks. It's a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks to our dynamic speaker, Mrs. Anupama Jain, who despite of a busy schedule has found time to grace this special interaction. Your eminent presence has indeed made this interaction a memorable one. And thank you once again. We unitedly thank you from bottom of our heart for your support. Thank you, Anupama ji. It's wonderful having you.
Thank you. My
Take, I'll see you on the other side.